all of us who are looking at the market right now is like, okay, Ether is moving. Some of the alts are also joining that. Last 24 hours, you can see like, okay, we went a little bit down, but after that, we are slowly bouncing now. But what's interesting here is to see how different assets are showing you different patterns, but all of them are showing short-term bullish move ahead. But the confusion here is like, okay, will we actually break through this level? If we do, we now have room to the upside, but Fed is going to come out with a hammer on 27th. So we need to actually see whether that hammer is being used to hit us from the top or from the bottom. Will that be a push to the market to the upside, or will they kick the market down? That is going to be a hard part to actually see. But once you have the idea of what the charts show you, you're like, okay, this is breaking higher. Possibility here suggests that you're going to break higher. And as you break higher, you now have 150% to the upside. That's more like a giant altcoin season arriving. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. So when we actually talk about an altcoin season, we are like, okay, we've been looking for this from a long time. Right now, you're looking at the altcoins bouncing off from a long-term trend line. You zoom in to see like, okay, we are getting short-term breakout, but we have not yet managed to break this medium-term resistance. And the same happens to be there in the Bitcoin. You need to break this one, and once you break, yeah, you can go higher. But when you actually go on to the Bitcoin dominance to see like, okay, here, Ether suggests you all coins are going to break higher. They're going to move higher. They're going to run higher. Fine. So then you actually go on to the Bitcoin dominance to see what we are doing here. Will the Bitcoin dominance increase or decrease? Now, we don't know for the short term, but long term, it does see like it is about to go down. So here, this is your support. We need to first test that. And most likely, in next couple of days, we are going to support range. So we are going to test this range of 39.5. And once we reach there, we need to see what the alts are doing. So what is it going to be actually? Like the market is actually showing you some difference. And when you actually sort it based on the daily trading volume, you see some of them don't even have any volume. So make sure when you enter, that asset has some volume. So here in the top 10, top 20 range, you can see a lot of different assets and Ether trending higher among them. Now, when you actually go on to Ether BTC, you're like, okay, we are here, we are trying to break higher. So if you actually zoom in, there's a 3-day chart showing you we are trending higher from some time. We do have positive volume. So now we are going on to a daily chart, and that's where it's like, okay, this is the previous top, and you need to break this one with this, because the price has already managed to get above the last top, but the RSI did not. That is a little bit of bearish divergence there. So you go in, you zoom in to see like, okay, what really is happening there. And you see this. You actually kind of made a new top, but the RSI actually suggests to you like, no, we are not actually moving much higher from here. Because if you are looking at the RSI, it's actually trending to the downside. It did not make a new high. So on a short term, that may suggest like, okay, we may slow down here a little bit, but not too much, because the daily, 3-day and weekly are still bullish. If you look at on 3-day, you still have room to the upside to go become overbought. And then when you look at weekly, you can again see like, okay, there's a lot of room left. But remember, this weekly candle is about to close, and these two candles usually show you bullish indicator. And last time when you actually got this, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you are actually going up, up, up. So whenever you get these big candles to the upside with green volume and the MACD cross and a breakout, that usually happens rarely. And when that happens, the move usually is bullish. You got a move here. You need to actually keep that clear. Here you broke higher. So the RSI did not have too much room to the upside. But if you are considering the action, price action here, you're breaking higher at this point. Clear? Fine. Now we take the same and extend that all the way to the price. And when you extend that to the price, this is what you see. You're just reaching this all-time highs, trying to break that one out. But as you broke this one, you gathered momentum and went up. So zoom in and ask this question. Even though it had some bullish momentum before that, the breakout here allowed it to continue that momentum even higher. So measuring that move, it's like 50% move before that breakout and another 90% move after that. So here our measured move is like 40%, but it can go even higher because the MACD is crossing higher, RSI is crossing higher, breaking out, and then the volume is positive. Now this all boils down to where the altcoins may actually go. Fine. So now the question is, okay, does that actually mean BTC is going lower? Right now, no, because this was the previous support which we broke, 30K. Now we have to retest that one. We haven't actually done that. We reached somewhere close to 25K, but we did not go somewhere close to 30,000. So if we manage to go above that, that's great. We're going back. Otherwise, it can be a retest and rejection. That may push the price back to 20 or even 25 at that point, but we don't know. Right now, what we are looking at is a bounce on Bitcoin, and it can be slow. That's why we see the all suggesting that altcoins can run higher. So to get more clarity, we can actually go on to our altcoin chart and look at the same perspective there, whether we are going up, we are going down. And it's like, okay, RSI on a weekly has some room to the upside. So we may still continue the same momentum which we have right now, because for price, that suggests you that the moving average zone here is going to be tested. Now, fine, that's great. Currently, that moving average range, say half of that is 50% from where we are. Great. Now, with that being said, if you actually plot resistance line here, you have somewhere close to that to go back and test. So that on a weekly is short-term bullishness. So on a 3-day or daily, you are looking for a break higher, a continuation higher, because on a daily, you will see this like more like a bull flag, right? You came up, you're making this bull flag motion. Now you need to actually break to the upside. And if you break, then yeah, you're going much higher, because the RSI also suggests to you the same, showing that the buyers are not backing out. You're not actually dropping in terms of the strength. You are going higher, and the RSI staying above 60, 65. That usually is bullish. So if you go back, look at how a bull run starts or how a corrective session ends before we go on bull mode, you can see something similar all the way. Now, going back to the charts of XRP, this is XRP USD on a 3-day, and we are still here testing or flirting with the 21-day moving average. Now we need to break that. We need to come here to test the 50-day moving average. Last time, yes, it's somewhere close. We were at the resistance. We broke above the 21-day moving average. We moved up. Here also, it seems like we have similar in terms of percentage to the upside to go test somewhere close to 0.5, 0.6. Now we are still here at the bottom. We are not actually gathering much of a pace. There's a live chart of XRP, which you are looking like, okay, this was the previous support which we broke due to the lunar stutter. And then, you know, all the dominoes fell after that. We all know that. Now, a bounce to retest that range is really important, and I think it's coming. But the question is, will we actually break higher? If we do, now that's actually the market, the trend, everything changing. But the line which we will have to break for XRP to continue moving higher, I would say this is that level of resistance. So if we are coming back up slowly, say somewhere close to 0.5, 0.6 in a month or two, and then if we are able to break this, that's great news. But if we get rejected, now we are coming back down to 0.3 to make a double bottom. Now that may not look really good. It would be like you go up you come back down and then retest. That may not be something which we really need, but yeah, that's how the market works. With all these institutions entering into the market, you need to look at the market and say like, okay, they are pushing the price, they are kind of making this manipulation. Let me look the other way, asking how many of the assets are in a long-term trend to the upside, but right now they are slowing down, but I see a lot of fundamentals in them. If you look at it on that way, now you can do that on a 7-day basis, or you can go here on the return rates, go and look the opposite, looking like which of these currencies are down, and you see a lot of fundamentals. You can now buy them, right? That's what I actually do. Like, I go look at that in 30 days, a quarter, a year, then make sure these assets are having fundamentals, and on a short-term scenario, they're starting to trend higher. This usually works out. Now, that's easiest part to see. But if you're able to actually understand a breakout, then you're going to see these prices run. Say, some of these assets here, we've entered a couple of trades and they are working fine. Now, it's not a daily trade. It's not going to be open on a day, morning and closed in eve. We're going to go through that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Last 7 days, we're doing fine. And in another 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to hit our targets. That's it. And as I open a trade, I put the screenshots for you guys in the Telegram. And as I close, I inform you. So we closed some position in profit and we opened 3-4 position, so that in next month or so, we would be closing them, because right now, this is the opportunity. If the market is to do 150%, some of these coins may do 50%, some may do 500%. We don't know. But we are in the hunt for opportunities. So as we go through the large cap, then the medium cap, we do see a lot of opportunities here. They're starting to trend back up. They are now moving above our range of buy. That's bullish, because when you buy, the market can drop 5-10%. That kind of, scratches a lot of people like, oh no, that's not the right stuff. But once you wait a day or two, you see like, okay, they easily go back up. Why is that? Exchanges are not charity organizations. If you see a pattern, I see a pattern, and the measured move, remember this, they also know this. The image processing algorithms are much better than us. So if you're entering on a trade based on a breakout, they're like, no. I'm going to manipulate you. They push the price a little bit lower, making you exit. Why? Because even if you put one trade and get $1 million, they only get that spread. They don't want you to do that. What they want is you to make more trades, so they get more spread, which is their profit. So that's how the algorithms are designed. That's how this actually works. So you need to understand what they're trying to do and counter that. That's how you make consistent profits. So say you are a daily trader. Now that's entirely different. You need a lot of time and focus to do this with a higher accuracy rate. On the other side, say you are a busy guy. You don't have time to do this on a daily basis. You're like, okay, I'll put a trade in maybe 2 weeks, a month, or 3. I'll come back and close it. Maybe 30%, maybe 100%. If 10x, I'm great. If that's you, then you can look at the Patreon, where we post a lot of breakout calls and my trades, where I buy in, where I sell, and what assets I'm looking to enter. And when I enter, you get the screenshots. So, it's not just faking out. So now, if you want to look at that, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. So guys, now, if you are looking at the market right now, there's a lot of things which are evolving. And I was looking at this and I'm scratching my head, asking me a question like, where is this world going? CBDCs is for domestic, international, everything. Now, we all understand that it's control or whatever, but it is going to be a medium of exchange. And that being on Ether, that's painful. You go try gas fees at some times and you're like, okay, this is so bad. And the network gets congested. Whereas we have seen documents where the smart contracts is used from Ether, but the settlement engine is XRP Ledger. If that is the case, then that's okay. Fine, because that's how things change. Because when you actually look at this is a recent article. Now I'm looking at this and like, they don't want you to own this. And there are like 2-3 different views to this. And I'm like, I don't want to go into that conspiracy range, but I would like to say like, okay, maybe they're going to push the price of fuel sky high, so you can't afford this. Or they're going to create chip shortage and the price of cars are going to go up. So that's like two different ways where the common guy cannot afford that. Or they're going to increase the tax. Now we are like, what exactly is this? Once you become successful in life, now you don't want that Lamborghini. You're not talking about that. You're talking about a comfortable vehicle for your family, right? And that is being called as wasteful private car ownership. You have an emergency at your home, midnight, you really want to rush to the hospital. You don't want to wait calling for the ambulance, right? So you want to make sure you have that freedom of movement. But this is where we are going. So why am I highlighting this now? It's really important as the CBDCs get out, you need to have financial freedom. Otherwise, my friends, this may not turn out great. In next 2 to 3 years when the CBDCs are out, if you don't have financial freedom and you may have to rely on government benefits, whoa, that's a different story. That's an entirely different story. You're seeing governments putting up free accommodation. That's government accommodation, which is completely monitored, censored. Whew, the surveillance is everywhere. Then the price of assets here, it will go up. Now, the real estate will come down because of the Fed rate hike or central bank rate hikes. But after that, it will go much higher because it's not the retailers who are loading them up when it's dropping. It's the Blackstone, the BlackRock. These guys are loading them up. So you don't have access to this. So make sure this altcoin season or this bull run, you utilize it in a way that if you put in 10,000, you are now 100,000, at least a 10x. Now the market does 100,000 in different coins. But if you manage to get a 10x and you have a little bit of financial freedom, now 100,000 may not be big for a lot of you guys in the Western country, but those from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, that's actually enough for you to have a little bit financial freedom and stability. So if you entered the market with $100,000, now we are aiming for like $1 to $2 million. You have a little bit room there to take trades. If you are entering the market with 250, now you're looking for 2.5 to 5 million. As the money increases, the capital increases, you can reduce your risk and get more access into different assets, which allows you to get more money. So financial freedom is going to be one of the most important factor in next 2 to 3 years. Keep that in mind and learn on a regular basis what you can do, how you can position yourself in this marketplace where you can outperform others. If you are ready to outwork, if you are ready to out-strategize, remember this, guys, you have that place in the market. Just position yourself in this marketplace because majority are sitting there scratching through their mobile phones, wasting their time. So if you are ready to do something, get the money from the market. Invest that. Now you have put some emergency fund. After that, invest that. Because the depreciation of your fiat currency is so high right now, you need to make sure this market cycle helps you to get that financial stability which you need. So guys, if you are getting some value from this video, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to look at these charts which I drop and my trades, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. That's it, guys. I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.